Malaysia's expanded sales and services tax comes into force tomorrow, despite public outcry. The tax hike of 5 to 10% will apply to a range of luxury and non-essential items, such as imported seafood. Foreigners can also expect to pay more for private healthcare and education. CNA's Afifah Ariffin tells us more.
With the cost of living already on the rise, Malaysians are bracing for a new round of price adjustments. Starting 1st July, more goods and services will be taxed under the expanded Sales and Services Tax, or SST. Pushback from both the public and businesses led to last-minute changes ahead of the rollout.
Apples and oranges, these everyday fruits sparked an outsized public reaction when it was first announced in June that they would be taxed. But just days before the implementation, the government removed these items from the expanded tax list, offering some relief to consumers.
Several other revisions were also made after consultations with industry groups, policymakers and the public. Beauty services such as facials and haircuts were spared, and small businesses also received a reprieve. Only businesses with annual sales exceeding $236,000, up from the previous $118,000 threshold, will now be required to charge service tax on rental services. Still, many items remain in scope. This includes imported seafood, courier and logistics services, as well as private education for foreigners. While the government maintains that core essentials such as rice, chicken and eggs will be tax exempt, the public remains wary.
The transportation, the distribution, everything will going to increase. It will be impact to the product, so the product price will increase as well. So it will give us a lot of suffer.
I think SST is great because because it's still I know that it brings advantages or benefits to your economy, to your country's economy, but at the same time sometimes when I'm paying for stuff it still burdens me in some sense.
I think GST is actually a better solution than SST, but I guess for popular reasons we went with SST, so I guess we're stuck with it for a while.
The expanded SST is projected to generate up to 10 billion ringgit or $2.4 billion a year. Revenue, the government says, will go towards healthcare, education and targeted subsidies. The move is framed as a necessary step toward a fairer and more sustainable tax system. But analysts say the challenge lies in Malaysia's narrow tax base, which limits its fiscal space to support long-term development.
The rationale is that we don't tax enough. So our tax revenue to GDP is low. If we compare with Asian Pacific countries, we are among the lowest. Currently, the percentage is about 5.3% out of total economic value, the tax that we collected. Is it going to be worth it? I would say no, because let's say if you add 5 billion more to our whatever tax revenue that we have been collecting, it will only move the percentage very minimal.
Other observers point out that while less efficient, the SST expansion also reflects a political compromise. This after Malaysia repealed the Goods and Services Tax, or GST, in 2018 under the then Pakatan Harapan government, following widespread discontent over rising living costs.
What is the stark difference about SST and GST is that I think there's a lot more guardrails with SST. There's also that 1 year grace period of implementation. But the fundamental is that I think it's all about messaging. I think it's a lot more of public-facing messaging, a lot more of reassurance. I think especially, Trump is going on this whole tariff war, and especially in the light of the global economic landscape, Malaysia really needs to reassure its people that they are taken care of.
Businesses have until the end of the year to register before enforcement begins in 2026. But for many Malaysians, clarity and credibility may just be as important as compliance. Afifah Ariffin, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.